friends, I'm here today to share with you some sports romances. I really like sports. I really like sports romances. Wanted to share a few with you. First off, I have one from Megan Quinn. My favorite in this Brentwood Boys series is The Dugout. This is baseball romances. It's a whole series. This one is, I got it out so I would have names, and I don't know names. So this one is Carson and Millie. Carson is, I don't remember if he's hurt or if something happened where he could have been hurt. But he is this is college baseball. He's more of a veteran player, and one of the new freshmen is trying to take his spot. So he and Millie meet a couple of times, and he doesn't really, I would say that he finds her attractive, but he doesn't really want to pursue anything with her. And then he learns that she is like the baseball whisperer. She grew up in a family of baseball players. I think her dad was one, and all of her brothers are. And so she knows her shit about baseball, and he asks her for help getting back into, I think he was hurt, getting back into game ready form. And they spend a lot of time together working on baseball, and I thought this was so good. This was definitely my favorite of the series. I haven't finished the series, I will be honest, but this one so far has been my favorite. Next I have one that I think even I was surprised that it was a sports romance, but that is One Tiny Lie by K.A. Tucker. This is in her 10 Tiny Breaths series, so it's a bit of an older release, but this one is about Livy, who... she's had a bit of a rough upbringing. I think book one was about her sister, and then this one is her. And she is going off to college, and she has this plan that she's going to do, ace all of her classes. She's going to keep her head down. She's going to get into med school. She kind of has her life plan set out. And then when she is a freshman, she meets, what's his name? Ashton, who is the captain of the men's rowing team. He kind of brings her out of her introvert shell and kind of makes her see that life isn't always the plan that you make for it. But I really enjoyed this one when I read it. It has been a while. Like I said, it's a bit of an older release. 2014. So, bit of an older release, but still a goodie, I think. The next one, I'm going to actually recommend the whole series. It's just a trilogy so far. I don't know if the authors plan to put out any more. But that is the New Orleans Reveler series by Jiffy Kate. I guess I could hold up the book. This is book one, The Rookie and the Rock Star. Book two is The Ace and the Assistant. Book three is the Setup and the Substitute. This is New Orleans baseball team. This one is obviously a rookie. The second one is a pitcher. I think the third one is a pitcher as well. This one they kind of have to sneak around because she is a rock star and has been seen a little unfavorably in the media kind of when this starts. And so they're trying to keep the attention off of their relationship and try to see what may come of it before it gets blown out of proportion in the media. But these are super short books, and I really enjoyed this series. Next I have a football romance, and that is Not My Romeo by Ilsa Madden Mills. This one is Elena and Jack, and it starts off, Elena is headed to a blind date for Valentine's Day, and when she gets to the restaurant, she thinks that her blind date is Jack, so she goes over and sits and talks to him, and he's not her blind date, but turns out Jack is I want to say he's the quarterback for the Nashville football team. Elena lives kind of on a small town on the outskirts of Nashville, and he ends up going to that small town to find her, and somehow gets roped into being the Romeo to her Juliet for their community play, which I don't know how that worked still. But I really enjoyed this one. Book two is a football romance as well. It's his teammate and her sister. But I think I recommend this one more. This next one is my favorite. My favorite by my favorite author. And that is All Broke Down by Cora Carmack. I don't talk about this book enough for how much I love it. So this is Dylan and Silas. I was going to call him Cyrus. Dylan and Silas. And they meet in a jail cell. She's been arrested for protesting, and I think he was arrested for, like, disorderly conduct, being in public intoxicated. But yeah, so they meet in the jail cell, and they are very opposite. He is a party football player. She is super serious. She has all these causes that she really fights for. And so they meet. I don't know how many times I can say that. They meet in the jail cell, and then Silas kind of asks for her help in not really him becoming more like her, but in him kind of toning down the party boy ways, and he's realized that he's on his way to losing the football team, being able to be on the football team. So yes, like I said, this is my favorite by my favorite author. I love Cora Carmack. I love this book. I love the series. Like they are all football romances, but this one is my favorite. A more recent favorite that I've read is Tutoring the Player by Rebecca Jinchak. So this one is a college hockey romance. And I should have looked up their names. So this one is Daisy and Jordan, and they are very much opposites again. Daisy is a more studious, this series is called The Campus Wallflowers, so she's a bit more of a wallflower, and Jordan is on the, he's on the hockey team. I wouldn't say he's really like the bad boy of the team, but he does kind of have tendencies that lead more towards bad boy rather than good guy. But it starts off, I think they're neighbors, and it starts off that Daisy is crushing on Jordan's teammate, and the three of them actually end up in a class together working on a project. But then once she like gets to know them, she finds herself more attracted to Jordan than his teammate, which is more of the good guy who she thinks she should be attracted to. But yeah, I highly recommend this one if you're looking for like a college hockey romance in the vein of Elle Kennedy. But I feel like this one is a bit more, those aren't really old. I feel like this one's a bit more modern though. I really felt like it's a new adult, and I really felt like they were new adult age. I think I mentioned that in my wrap up. If you've seen that, it's been a pretty recent read. But I felt like they were actually like new adult age, dealing with new adult problems and feelings and that kind of stuff. So highly recommend this one. Another oldie but a goodie, I would consider Whatever Life Throws at You by Julie Cross. This one is a baseball romance. It is about Annie and Brody. And Annie has just recently moved because of her dad's job. I think she's 17 or 18. She's just recently moved because of her dad's job. He is a Major League Baseball pitching coach. I want to say he was a pitching coach. And she ends up meeting Brody and then finding out that he is a rookie on her dad's team, and that her dad is working with him on his pitching to try to make the Major League team. But yeah, I think it takes place throughout spring training and like part of the season. But yeah, so it's a bit forbidden because her dad is kind of his boss. And let's see, does it say age? Yeah, so she's 17 and he's 19. But he is off limits because of her dad. So I would say that it's a new adult kind of concept, but more of a YA steam level. So no steam in this one. I don't remember there being any steam anyway. But yeah, I really enjoyed this when I read it. Another one that I'm sure most people have heard of is Challenge by Amy Dawes. This is book 1 in her Harris Brothers series. I just recently got a physical copy, so I wanted to talk about it. So this one is Camden, and he is a soccer player in England, so it's football, but I'm going to call it soccer because that makes sense in my head. So he is hurt, and he is actually at the hospital when he meets Indy, his doctor, And so they kind of form a relationship through that. So like I said, he's hurt. He's looking for a bit of a distraction since he can't play the game that is his life. And Indy is she's feeling a bit lackluster about her life. And she kind of wants an adventure. And so they kind of use each other for that. Camden uses Indy to, kind of take his mind off not being able to play soccer, and Indy uses Camden to kind of spice up her life. And the last book that I'm going to mention today is actually a YA book, which really surprised me when I listened to the audiobook, so much so that I had to go buy the physical copy. And that is Throw Like a Girl by Sarah Henning. Like I said, this is a YA. It is about Liv, who... So it starts off, she is a softball player, and things are said on the field by members of the other team about her gay sister, who happens to be the coach of her team. So things are said, and Liv reacts in a very violent way. She punches the girl who says this stuff. So she's been going to this like private school, and she gets kicked out because of their zero tolerance policy for violence. So weirdly, the school that she ends up at is the school for the team that they were playing against, the girl who she punched went to. But that girl's graduated. She does come back to kind of cause some drama. But when Liv gets to the school, she is expecting to be able to play softball. So the coach wants her to prove that she can be part of a team. Enter Gray, who is the hurt quarterback of the football team, who wants somebody to replace him. And I guess being a softball player, he thought she can throw. He asked her to join the football team and take his place, which I don't really think that's his choice to be making that decision. But they spend a lot of time together while he's helping her, learn to throw football the way it should be thrown, and learn all the different plays and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I really thought that this was super cute. It had a lot of emotion to it. Gray is dealing with some stuff as well, being injured, and she's dealing with basically her whole life being uprooted from being kicked out of the private school. But yeah, highly recommend this one. So those are some of the sports romance that I want to recommend to you today. If you've read any of these, let me know what you thought down below. If you have any recommendations I should check out, leave them for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Bye!